skid plate. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
You should have no gap in between my skid plate and my apron. I'm gonna be checking my chassis, making sure the sides of it has all the DLT reflector tape. It's not ripped or torn, not missing. Gonna check the frame of the chassis, making sure it's not dent crack broken or illegally welded, nice and straight. Gonna be checking my cross beams, making sure that all of them are there, not missing, and not dent crack broken or illegally welded. Going on to my landing gear, making sure it's tight and secure with its full set of nuts and bolts. It's not dent crack broken or illegally welded. Checking the landing gear leg for any rust. If there were to be any rust, it needs to be greased. Checking my boot, making sure it's tight and secure with its full set of nuts and bolts, not dent crack broken or illegally welded. My release handle should be in its locked position. This is checking my airlines. Red is for emergency, blue for service. The black is my electric cable. Making sure they're tight and secure at each end. Checking my airlines for any cuts, cracks, or bulges, and I'm listening for any air leaks. Checking my electric cable to make sure there's no bare wire showing that would cause a short. This is a sliding chassis, so making sure the locking pin it's in its locked position. My release arm is in its locked position, not dent crack broken or illegally welded. If you follow my airlines down to the inside, it'll take you to my brake chamber. Brake chamber is not dent crack broken or illegally welded. It's tight and secure with its full set of nuts and bolts. I'm listening for any air leaks. The clamps going around my brake chamber are not dent crack broken or illegally welded. Tight and secure with its full set of nuts and bolts. Checking my push rod and slack adjuster, making sure they're in a proper position. Not dent crack broken or illegally welded. Tight and secure with its proper cotter pin. If I were to have more than 2 inches of play while my brakes were off, I would get a 9/16 wrench, do a full swing clockwise until it stops, and a quarter swing counterclockwise. If I were to adjust this brake chamber, I would adjust the rest. Going on to my suspension. Here I have my spring mount, making sure it's not dent crack broken or illegally welded. Checking my leaf springs to make sure I have a full set of leaf springs, making sure they're not dent crack broken or illegally welded. Going to my mounting pad. Mounting pad is in its proper position. It's not dent crack broken or illegally welded. U-bolts going around my mounting pad are not dent crack broken or illegally welded. Tight and secure with its full set of nuts and bolts. On the bottom I have my torque arm. My torque arm is not dent crack broken or illegally welded. Tight and secure with its full set of nuts and bolts. Going on to my brake drum. I'm going to be checking through the inside and through the outside on the ventilation holes. Making sure it's not dent crack broken or illegally welded. Checking the inside for any white powder or any black powder. White powder will indicate that the brakes overheated and the fire extinguisher was used. Black powder will indicate that there's metal to metal rubbing. Did I say black powder? Yeah. White powder, brakes overheated and the fire extinguisher was used. Black powder, metal to metal rubbing. Also checking for any fluid leaks. Any fluid leaks will indicate that the inner axle seal is busted and needs to be replaced. Also making sure my brake pads have no less than a 1/4 inch of life left. Checking the walls of my tires here in the back. Making sure it has no cuts or bulges, inside and out. Checking the tread for any nails or screws that would cause a flat. Here in the back, recaps are permitted. The thread life should be no less than 2/30 seconds of an inch. Air pressure should be between 85 to 100 psi unless told differently by the manufacturer. I'm going to be checking the spacer, making sure there's no rocks, wood, anything that could come flying out while I'm driving, or anything that could cause a flat. Going on to my rim, making sure it's not dent crack broken or illegally welded. Checking for a full set of lug nuts. Checking for any rust around the lug nuts. If there's any rust, it would indicate that they are loose and need to be tightened or replaced. Checking my hub, making sure it's not dent crack broken or illegally welded. Tight and secure with its full set of nuts and bolts. Checking for any leaks. If there were to be any leaks, that would indicate that the seal has busted and needs to be replaced. Also checking my valve stem, making sure it's free of any contact with the rim. It's not dent crack broken or illegally welded, and I'm listening for any air leaks. Same inspection I did on this axle, I would do on the back. Going out to my rear of the trailer, making sure my mud flaps are tight and secure with its full set of nuts and bolts. Checking for any rips or tears. My mud flap should not be too short or too long. Too long, it could get tangled against the ground and get torn off. Too short, it would defeat its purpose. Proper height is 6 inches from the ground. Checking all my lights, making sure my lenses are not cracked or broken, not missing. Should be the color red in the back, and I'm also checking for any burnt out bulbs. Making sure my DOT bar is not dent, cracked, broken, or illegally welded. Making sure I have my full reflective tape, easily visible, not ripped or torn or missing. Making sure my license plate is well lit and easily visible. That's it.